want you to have the best hunting rifle out there. So I bought a wagon load of them with my own money so that you can get only the very best. 3 years ago, we did a test of the best guns under $350, and over 1 million of you watched it. But in 2023, there are no guns under $350. So we're looking at the most inexpensive category of guns. Now, we're gonna test these on 10 different categories, but if something is the worst in a category, it gets the fail. It's out of here. And then we're gonna score everything else on the normal A+, B- scale. None of this newfangled. One of my kids came home from school yesterday all happy that he got a 4 on his test. And I said, aren't you missing 96%? None of that stuff. Let's get it started with an unbiased test once and for all. We're putting each one of these through the feeding gauntlet. So we'll take each rifle. We have different brands of ammunition in case there's something weird on there that could cause issues. And we're running 15 rounds through the action from the magazine and seeing if it has any issues. Each time we load a new magazine, we slightly change the position of the rifle to see if that causes any feeding issues. Then we take 5 rounds and we do the chuckability test, which is nothing in the magazine where you're just single feeding, chuck one in and see if it will chamber the round. Ladies and gentlemen, we have our first fail. It locks up almost every time when you're single feeding. If you go perfectly straight, sometimes it'll get it. But with the magazine and the chuckability being a problem, the Ruger American, that standard Ruger American version, is out. Now, a big portion of that is because of the magazine, this older style magazine in some of the Ruger Americans. The Ruger American Go Wild edition uses a much upgraded magazine that just works a lot better. It wasn't perfect at feeding, but significantly improved, and so that one remains in the test.
I don't know if I should be around guns. It is so intimidating. Can I try again?
Yeah. We're gonna kind of be bouncing back between the office and the range here as we go through these different tests. Let's talk triggers. This is a big one for me. It totally gets in your head if you have a poor quality trigger and you're trying to make a good shot. So, the truth teller. We're putting this thing first in the scientific test to just see the total poundage that it takes to pull them. Here are those numbers. Overall, it's better than I would expect, especially in this inexpensive class of rifles. All of these are adjustable, but this is what they were factory set to. There are 2 rifles that get a fail in this test, and that is the Ruger American and the Ruger American Go Wild. Interestingly, when we ran this test a few years ago, we gave the Ruger American's trigger good marks. We said this.
The trigger was a solid trigger. I don't have a whole lot more to say about it. It's just solid.
But now there's a lot stiffer competition in that same category, and they've brought some really nice triggers with them. The Winchester XPR's trigger is scientifically heavy, but it breaks nicely when it feels like it. The Ruger American, the qualitative test of it, it's just, it feels sandy in there. It's not that good. The ones that stick out as being especially good, the Franchi Momentum feels like a premium trigger in there. And then both the Bergara and the CVA also feel like noticeably nice triggers, especially for a factory rifle. I hear from you guys all the time. We're all sick of going to the gun shops and seeing only 6.5 Creedmoor and 308 in everything. We'd like to see some of the different cool options in chamberings. And so I want to make sure we're giving credit to the lines of rifles that are doing that. For that, I would give the biggest props to Winchester, Ruger, and Mossberg on this. All of them have tons of options. But the big loser here is the Franchi Momentum. It's only available in 4 different cartridges. It just leaves us with few options. As I'm editing this, I realized I should have mentioned 3 guns that would be in this review, but I didn't have them available to be able to show you in the review. But I've reviewed them in the past, so here's the skinny. The Weatherby Vanguard and the Howa 1500 are basically twins. Extremely accurate in our testing, but they're about a pound heavier than a lot of the competition, and so that puts it out for many hunters. Next is the Savage Axis. Longtime viewers of the channel have known that I'm not a fan of the bluing process they do. I've had rust on multiple copies. Not to be dismissive of those guns though, they're good guns. I didn't include them just because I don't have them. Let's talk buildability. This is the ability to swap out a stock, a pre-fit barrel, different trigger, things like that over time, especially if you're getting an inexpensive rifle. Some of them are highly compatible, like a Bergara B14 Hunter. It's a Remington 700 style action, and so it'll work with a ton of different things. Others of them, you're going to be very hard-pressed to find compatibility. So it's tough to give a total score here, but this would be my overall scores for compatibility and buildability. This one is a personal pet peeve and one that I hear from all the time from you guys. In today's market, a lot of shooters are either using a muzzle brake or using a suppressor, or may at some time in the future want to put one of those things on their rifle. So we've got to do a little fail here. The one that hurts the most is the Bergara B14 Hunter does not have a threaded muzzle. That hurts because it's one of my very favorite rifles in this test and it does so much well. So if that doesn't matter to you, what a rifle. But for me, I've got to give it a fail. When you get a new gun, you want it to shoot well, but you're looking at the gun store and you have no idea how they'll perform. Well, I have put buckets of ammunition through these guns, and all 5 of these I would put at the top of the heap in terms of accuracy. All of these guns under $700 will shoot 1 MOA or better. Most groups, 5-shot groups, are in the 0.8, 0.9 kind of category. They're just great shooters. I found that when I get a gun that can shoot that well, really to get any smaller, it's all about the ammunition, and I'm shooting factory ammo with all of these. And so I honestly couldn't tell you which one is going to shoot better all of these. I think they're equal, and it's just ammo to get any better. But there are 3 guns that I would put some caution on in terms of accuracy. The first one surprises no one. It's the Mossberg Patriot. This gun does not shoot well at all. We've sent it to Mossberg to be repaired. Came back, still not shooting well. We got a second Mossberg Patriot. It also doesn't shoot well in .308. Not good at all. Next, Winchester's XPR, I would say is a passing grade. I definitely shoot 1 MOA, but every once in a while I'm shooting groups that I'm not real happy with. I put only a caution on that because this is in 6.8 Western. Winchester's ammo is not great, so I don't know that I could blame it on the gun. Similar caution on the Franchi Momentum. We're gonna give a pass to the Franchi Momentum on accuracy. There's a 3-shot group at 100. Obviously that's pretty bad, 2.5 inches, but I've only been able to find Winchester 350 Legend ammo, which is what that's chambered in, and I've never had great luck with Winchester ammo, so we're going to give this one just a pass. I just don't have enough information to say if it shoots well or not, but that isn't promising seeing something like that. That's a pretty big group. I also gave a score for the finish of the rifle. Does it have Cerakote? Does the stock feel cheap, or does it have a nice soft touch to it? The style of it. Does the bolt look like it's already been through 3 world wars as soon as you take it out of the box? Things like that. It's time for a verdict. We got to choose something here. Surprisingly, some of the guns that I thought would do better, like the Ruger American, compared to what's available today, have kind of failed. And the winners for this category are both rifles that did not even exist a few years ago when we ran this same review. There are 2 rifles that I would point out as the best of the heap. The first is the CVA Cascade, and the second is Das Original, the Mauser M18. So how in the world can we even compare these, because they both did so well in all of the tests? The Mauser offers a 3-position safety, which may be important to some people. Of course, that weird storage in the butt pad that you could put something in. It's accurate, and it has decent stock geometry. The CVA Cascade one-ups it with some Cerakote on the barrel, a paint job on the stock that looks really nice, and a much beefier trigger guard. I'm hard-pressed, but I'm gonna go with the CVA Cascade as Backfire's winner this year. CVA Cascade has some incredible things that they're doing that are just prove its reliability. First, they have a 14-day return guarantee. You can never return guns. That's pretty darn impressive. Both of them have an MOA guarantee on the accuracy. The CVA Cascade is offered in some really cool cartridges, which I really like. You can take an inexpensive gun and make it shoot like a much more expensive gun with some very inexpensive changes to the gun. Unfortunately, I can't show that here on YouTube, so I just barely did a long podcast episode where I went over exactly the changes you can make to a stock factory rifle to make it shoot way above its price point. That's part of Backfire Plus. It's the premium membership that we have for Backfire content, the stuff that we can't share on YouTube. You'll see the banned YouTube videos that YouTube has kicked off. I have online courses on there. Watch all of them you want. Plus, the Backfire Mancast is coming out regularly, and downloads, cheat sheets, my courses in reloading, and lots more. Check it out at backfire.tv/plus. It's a really good price for everything you're getting. That's backfire.tv/plus. Thanks everybody for your support. I put everything I can into these big roundups. Hope you enjoyed it this year.